Hey guys, Allison here. Okay, are you one of those super sensitive people? Your feelings get hurt really easily. Maybe you get angry really easily. All right. Okay, if you are, I feel you. I'm the same way, super sensitive. And I personally, growing up, hated when people would tell me you're too sensitive because I can't help the way I am. I am just very sensitive, which I guess has made me a good therapist, but it made my life a little rougher because I was so sensitive. But I learned a couple of things, and I want to share that with you. First off, if we find ourselves in relationships all the time where we feel like we're getting hurt, then you need to look at that as a pattern. Are you choosing the same people, the wrong type of person? Did you learn dysfunctional patterns in your family that you're taking into new relationships? And usually that boils down to kind of like getting in touch with your own needs and learning how to communicate them effectively so that you can work things out, let's say with your spouse or a close friend or whoever it is. So if that's the case, I would encourage you to reach out to a therapist on catholictherapist.com to really be able to work through maybe some old wounds that you have or maybe some dysfunctional patterns that you're finding yourself in. Now, maybe it's not so serious a problem, but you would like to improve your communication skills and have better relationships and guard yourself against feeling hurt all the time. That's where a coach can come in really helpful. If you have a basically good life, good relationship with your spouse, whoever it is that you're trying to work on, maybe in the workplace, but you'd like to fine tune it and have it be even better, that's where working with a Catholic life coach can be really helpful. So go to catholiclifecoaches.com. But I want to make another suggestion. I want to give you an analogy first. Do you remember when you were in school and perhaps the teacher gave a test that was so super hard that everybody in the class failed or did really poorly at? Well, sometimes the teacher would recognize that, okay, maybe I wasn't really fair with this test, or maybe the questions were too hard. So he grades it on a curve. All right, so maybe he gives a 15-point differential. So maybe you got a 65, now you have an 80. So he graded it on a curve to offset the fact that maybe everybody had difficulty or maybe he wasn't clear in his lesson. And we're always grateful. It was a rare occurrence, but I was always grateful when they graded it on a curve. Now that's something that I had to learn how to do. When my feelings get hurt, when I know that I'm being very sensitive, or I know I have a tendency to be more sensitive than the average bear, what I learned to do is just grade people on a curve. So instead of getting too upset, I would just say, you know what? They probably didn't mean it as maybe mean or insensitively as it came across. All right. It might be my own sensitivity, my extra sensitivity coming into play here. Because it's almost like, when you wake up and you have a bad day and everybody gets you mad, and after a while you realize maybe it's me in a bad mood. So I looked at that and I thought, all right, if I could just grade people on a curve, can I tell you, it's been really helpful to recognize that they don't always mean it as mean as it comes across, or maybe they're the bull in the emotional china shop and they never learned the skills to communicate properly or effectively, and they may not mean to hurt your feelings. Most people don't. There are some people who are super mean, but most people, especially the people who love you, they don't necessarily mean to hurt your feelings. So if it's a pattern, you want to address it with them by communicating what you're feeling, and using I statements versus you statements is really effective. So instead of saying, you're so insensitive and you hurt my feelings, saying something like, when you said that to me, or when you forgot to do this, it made me feel this way. So do you see how somebody doesn't feel as defensive when you approach it that way? So grade them on a curve, learn how to communicate better, and learn how to use I statements. I think you'll find that all really helpful. I have a new free ebook for you. If you haven't already downloaded it, there's a link below this video. You can also find it on catholiclifecoaches.com. Live a life of purpose and joy, how a Catholic life coach can take you from ordinary to extraordinary. And that's God's goal for you. Hope you find that helpful. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and please share it with your friends. God bless you.